Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Maestro, and this video is going to be primarily themed Maestro. Offensively, well, more so his damage output, what I think he could potentially be good for, and how he looks overall. Obviously a bit of gameplay and the rotation explained. I will be making a separate video on Maestro, which is going to be effectively how to defeat Maestro, because I have heard a lot of people ask that question, primarily because, well, Maestro has been Alliance War Boss. Maestro is a problem in Battlegrounds, especially if you don't know how to approach that fight. So, we're going to get to that afterwards, hopefully tomorrow. And the first things first, my Maestro is rank 2, has 7-star, unawakened, and let's see how he does against Winter Soldier. So his base rotation is, you do want to do shorter combos with medium, light, medium, or, well, basically as long as you finish combos with medium, that's fine, because that is the fastest way to build up your Maestro, because every time you finish a combo with medium, you gain 3 neuroniums, plus, you naturally grow more of them as well over time. And we can see that by the time I'm at like 2 bars of power, 2.5 bars of power, I have entered his, damage mode. And at that point, you want to drop your special attack, your opponent's going to get rooted, and you will gain 3 Fury buffs. And after that, if your Maestro is awakened, you just want to keep spamming level 1s. If your Maestro is not awakened, you'll probably want to drop 2 level 1s and then go for level 2, basically pending your Fury buff duration or Fury passive durations. So here we can see that I dropped a couple of level 1s. He's halfway down at this point already, and we are dealing some damage by being near to the opponent. It's nothing massive, but it still adds up. It's primarily a defensive annoyance more so. And now my Fury passives have expired, so I want to get to a new level 2. This would not be something I have to do if Maestro was awakened, but since the 7-star is unawakened, again, I needed to drop my level 2 in order to get the Furies, in order to get more damage on my level 1s that will effectively serve as a primary source of damage due to the red numbers associated with the level 1 itself. And that's pretty much the entire fight. He's super simple to play. There's really not much to it. Level 2 and level 1s. And that's it. Finish combos with mediums. No mega secret there, nothing too crazy. You can see that it took 111 hits, 1 minute and 44. And then obviously we can compare it with, I chose a 7-star rank 2 for this one. Later on I'm going to be using Hercules Ascended to compare as well, but here we can see that I'm using Mysterio for this fight. I'm basically going for the level 3 rotation, so I dropped in like some poison meanwhile, but after the level 3 I'm just trying to be as aggressive as I can, and didn't quite finish off the Winter Soldier. I probably could have been slightly faster in this fight, but Mysterio still took minute and a half. So Mysterio damage is relatively decent, right? You can easily finish like dominoes with Mysterio in like 60 seconds, 65 seconds, if not faster, in Battlegrounds. So he's not that awful damage-wise. Like, that is going to be the main takeaway from the video that I'm also going to be showing here. He's not going to be a rapid nuke type of champion by any means. He's definitely primarily a defender, but he's nowhere near as bad as, Kindred, as bad as Korg damage-wise. He is significantly better. He's somewhere in between, a solid attacking champion and these defenders. He is slower than, most attackers for sure, but he's definitely viable in a sense that you will be able to finish out these fights. Here we can see again, level 2, level 1, that's, not awful. That's 42 seconds. That's, again, it's not fast for a 7-star rank 2 to finish up these fights, but it's serviceable. And he's super simple to play. So when you can be aggressive with him, and again, that's kind of like an issue in general in Battlegrounds right now, because AI can be stingy, and that obviously can ruin Maestro as well, just like it can any other champion. But provided AI works fine, it is decent offensively. So this is like 200k plus health pool, so this isn't like too bad of a health pool already at this point. And we can see that, he's not that much slower. He's going to be, just a bit slower than he was against that Deadpool. And again, that's not awful. So here he goes for level 2. That's fine. Unfortunately, pretty much nothing there crit, but what you want to do is get to the level 1. Here, the Venom of the Duck gets slightly stingy, which is fine. Go for the level 1, knock him down, get all of those red numbers in. He's left at 12%, and you just basically finish up a combo, or not even, and this is also 47 seconds. And now let's compare that with Hercules. So it is like 40 seconds and 47 seconds. Something like that. Let's see how fast Hercules can do it. Obviously, with Hercules, you do want to build him up quite quickly, so we're kind of approaching this like a Balgrounds fight, more or less, even. And Hercules, well, no spoiler here, will be faster, because if a fight goes well with Hercules, obviously Hercules can serve as somewhat of a nuke, or as a nuke champion in general. So this is a 6-star rank 5 ascended Hercules as well. And he finishes this Deadpool in 25 seconds. So we can clearly see the difference, right? Hercules will be significantly faster. Maestro will take more time. He will be fast enough to finish most of the fights, but you probably would expect kind of an average fight duration, 60 seconds plus, 70 seconds plus on similar ranks if he's capable of doing these fights. Going up against Venom's Duck here again. Now, keep in mind that I did have 1 feat of strength built up. I don't think that's like such a big change, but I did have 1 of those. It is kind of important. Here, the AI kind of gets a bit stingy for a moment. I do, utilize the Infuriate. And again, here I'm just going to go for like a full combo, and we're going to see that Herc is definitely going to be putting in work, finishing out this fight. I didn't even need to throw this level 1 to close it out. So offensively speaking, he's below average. There's no way around it. He is primarily defender, and he will be a below average offensive champion damage-wise, but he's not such a noodle that it would be basically pointless trying to use him on attack. He will be able to close out some fights for sure, especially against tech champions. He gains an extra attack bonus as well. Here we can see that 6-star rank 5, I believe, gains 8. Let's change it up to 7-star rank 2. So 7-star rank 2 gains extra 1000 attack against tech champions. That's kind of neat as well. That means more damage from your passive abilities too. And we need to talk about the biggest issue we have with Maestro offensively. Now that we have seen the rotation, we have seen how he does the regular punching bags of MCOC. The harshest truth about Maestro, and I really was looking around to find something, but there is one, very, very harsh thing offensively. He has nothing. It's empty. He's kind of like a blank page offensively. The only thing that can somewhat help and serve him offensively, but it's, just as much as defensive kind of ability, is the fact that he's triple immune. He's immune to poison, shock, and incinerate. That's cool. That means there will be some nodes and matchups where he can go up against, he can deal with, I don't know, Immortal Abomination or something like that. You can deal with some other matchups where you would get shocked otherwise. But besides the basic immunities, has literally nothing. Every single ability he has is a defensive. He has Pierce, for instance, but that Pierce is nowhere near potent enough to actually try and hit opponent's block with any meaningful results. He does like a little bit of extra damage by staying close to the opponent, but it's nowhere near enough to be considered as a legitimate damage source, like for Omega Red or something. And he has glancing, and yeah, sure, it can save you, but that's only when you mess up. It's again primarily kind of like a fail-safe or a defensive ability. And yeah, you get Fury. That's basically just a damage modifier. His special attacks don't really do anything either. There's not much. There is no real utility. You don't have any true strikes or true accuracies. You don't have like armor breaks or any meaningful amount of dot damage really, aside from the burst on the level 1. Just what it is, like rooting opponent while still throwing a special attack. It's kind of meaningless offensively too. It's again a defensive ability. So that's the biggest problem with him. When you will be able to use him, it's going to have to be like a very vanilla circumstance. So if you take a look at the matchup spreadsheet, I haven't entered him in the matchup spreadsheet yet, realistically. Doing Korg, it's possible, but no more or less than with any other champion. Killmonger, probably not. Atuma, probably not. Nick Fury, not fast enough. Most of the you can probably do some of the Mystic champions, but not really, kind of. You can probably deal well enough against like Chavez or something like that, but most of the Mystics obviously, will either nullify you or eat you up. Domino, probably not. Bishop, I doubt it with the energy damage. Havoc, doubt it. Toad, maybe. That's the problem, really. I think against tech champions, fair enough. Going up against like Warlock or Mysterio or something like that, you're going to be fine. Realistically, when it comes to the tough opponents that you go up against, it's not necessarily that, he would be too slow or not have enough damage. It's just kind of more so that, clearly made as a defender, should be used as a defender, unless it's some sort of urgent circumstance. Now, I have done some fights with Maestro, fine, in a situation where you trap your opponent and then use Maestro offensively, you can still kind of win. Like, I forced my opponent in a really bad matchup, and I think then I use my Maestro to beat up a Terex or something. But, yeah, if you're ranking up Maestro, it's hardly different than ranking up your Korg. It's a defender, and I think, we just need to be honest about it. But since he's a defender, as I said in the beginning of the video, I will be making a separate video on how to defeat some of the counters, some of the things to look out for, and so on and so forth. So, if you like the video, hit that like, hit that sub, hit all the good buttons, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about